Tell Lion that he didn't get a share of any of the treasure this time because he was late to the party.
Say again?
He was late to the party.
And doesn't get his share?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's now on record.
It's on record. Cool. That's fine. His share went to the dwarves.
Yeah.
Who weren't late to the party. Hey, he said 20 minutes. It's 27 minutes past.
It is.
Yeah. How very generous. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I used to play in a game where like you would get 500 XP just for showing up
On time. Yep. Yeah. I can relate. One of the D&D groups we used to have, like, somebody kept complaining about the fact that we had a D&D session for like 4.5 hours until someone pointed out that was because he was always an hour and a half late. So we made the start time 4.5 hours, like, so that he would actually arrive on time, and the other players had all been told to turn up at 12:30. He'd been told to turn up at 11. But he'd always be like, oh, I'm really sorry I'm late. The tube was bad. This was bad. Whatever was bad, I'm here. And everyone else would like, we've only been here 5 minutes. That's fine. But he was told that it was...
They play like 5 days a week.
We used to, yeah, in school. We used to play during English.
Yeah, but you guys played in school with each other. That's different.
Yeah, but we played in school, and then on the weekends we'd go to somebody's house and play D&D all weekend.
Because most games are hack and slash.
I guarantee you it's not meticulous note-taking. Mm-hmm.
If only your GM was doing that ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's your campaign, Matt.
I wouldn't complain. It would give me even more time to plan mine.
What are you on about? You know my campaign's going to last like 13 years.
Okay.
Either that or like 2 sessions, because they're all going to die.
I'm gonna at least start the music. Welcome back. You're late on top of being late.
That's okay. We gave your treasure portion to the dwarves instead while you were away.
Including the cloak of billowing that was in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Take a braver.
One is a cloak of billowing, the other one is a bib of billowing. Hmm.
That would actually look really good. Like the Overwatch character, you know.
Are you all settled and ready to go, Abel? Okay.
So, considering you guys did a long rest, have you divvied up the coins?
Yes.
Okay, so Matt, once my syncing stops, because I made the mistake of clicking Descript syncing to sync my music library. So I can't click on Foundry for like the 5 next minutes. But you have a chest and the leather sack where you have to delete the currency, and then add the stuff that Lena calculated.
The divvied up currency.
Yeah, but whatever is in them now in the currency, you have to remove that because that was divvied up.
Yeah. And he's taken that off you while you were sleeping. Jesus Christ, why are you carrying 1100 copper on you?
Because that's what he picked up.
Oh, okay.
And why are you surprised? I literally pasted it into chat.
No, I thought he was reading off what he was now carrying. After adding all the stuff to it.
No.
Hmm.
Yeah, mostly because of the spectator stuff.
You do also have some beholder ingredients that are going to start rotting.
Well, one of the things that you can do is reshuffle the stuff that is in the scorched chest, and then leave the scorched chest. It's a scorched, rusty chest. You also have a waterproof pouch that don't put the spectator stuff in it because it outweighs the pouch. The pouch is small.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Hmm.
So now that we are,
Kit still can't move. Mm-hmm. No.
Elana will ritual. What are you gonna do?
Can't ritual cast it. I've got to burn a lot of spell power to keep 4 individual items.
Did you even have the slots before going to sleep?
Well, yes, because I short rested.
Yeah.
So I had 2 slots because it's a warlock spell.
The eye stalks and the eye are the most sensitive.
The question is, are the 4 in? Can you hold the 4 individual eye stalks and the main eye as one cast, or are they 5 casts to do all 5 items?
I will allow the
That's what
stalks
it
as
boils
one
down to.
cast. Because I don't
Okay.
want to deal with logistics today.
So I can do the eye stalks and I can do the main eye,
Yeah, and then in the morning, you can
which keeps it for 10 days. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the tongue I can't do before going to sleep.
What? You're not excited by a necrotic whip?
Yeah. The shield of reflection alone is just insane.
Like I was imagining like Indiana Jones style bullwhip,
Oh
but like with a barbed tip.
Now that you've piqued my interest. Hmm. So the short answer is I can do the eyes first, and then I can do the hide and the tongue the following morning, which are the least likely to have problems, to be fair. Well, I can do it twice the next morning anyway, so I can do both anyway. 10 days. Enough. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, imagine like a bullwhip, but instead of the little Freddy tip, you know how some dinosaurs have like a fin tail and then it spikes out like it looks like almost like a spearhead.
Barbed
Yeah,
tail.
yeah, barbed tail. So that would then instead be the tip of that whip.
Yeah. Are we doing a general recap?
And now first, how is everyone doing? Abel, why were you late? Oh no, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Bikes in Dutchland are very important.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but is it visibly new and shiny, or have you made sure that it doesn't look new and shiny? Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I do have to say, like the joke was because I recently saw like a YouTube short where like somebody bought a brand new bike in in the Netherlands, and then some like pretending to be the average Dutch person. It's like, no, you can't, no, this is too fancy. And then they show their bike and it's like this rusty pile of rust. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, Lena, how are you actually? Yeah, I might struggle at some point with coughing or not being able to talk because I'm still under the weather.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm control Ring Foundry because fuck this.
How's Matt doing? Apart from disappointed in your soup, Matt. Okay.
Don't insult his mom's soup.
It's not his mom's soup.
Okay. Never mind.
You boil a kettle, throw some powder in a mug, and then stir in the hot water. 100%. No.
Oh my god.
I thought you were going to say you could turn it upside down and it stays on the spoon.
Actually, now I'm taking it back. This sounds actually disgusting. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like tomato soup, especially kappa soup, but this. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're fine, Chrissy, right?
I'm doing better than Alana is.
Yeah, Alana's doing shit. Yeah. So, just to make clear, because it was at the end of the session, there was like a joint derpy on Alana's side. Chris should have described,
I think,
a bit better.
If I were describing in retrospect what had happened, she would have kind of stumbled backwards and anime style fallen on her ass and then sat there like a little bit dazed and confused for a bit. But there was
because she literally got almost dropped to zero.
Yeah.
With that, by the way.
I took percentages are always good. I took 88.5% of my health in damage. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, because I was like assuming, because you all can hover over the tokens, you can see if somebody's near death.
Yeah. So, well, I think that was the thing I was struggling to like comprehend how to convey psychic damage, because I think because of her, like, she is stupidly intelligent as well, she would understand that like reeling and collapsing in front of her friends is going to look really bad. So she would be fighting against that, as well as the mental strike of like something's just lashed out at her that she wasn't expecting. So like, first of all, she's playing it quieter. So although like physically she would have been stunned backwards and kind of shaken her head and stuff.
Yeah, you described that she looks dazed. So
yeah,
I latched onto that.
She was definitely like dazed, confused, needed time to answer questions where normally she'd like snap fingers and she would answer a question. So from her perspective, that was a panic reaction from her actually, because she is aware of additional information about a specific item Kit was carrying that Kit has been carrying for a long time, and we've not needed to trade specifically up until now. But with that backlash, her instant reaction was, I need that item because it helps me do something. But that was something Shinny derped on, because I think you completely forgot the point of that item.
You didn't use it.
Yeah, I did.
You went to...
No, I did use it.
You didn't tell me.
No, I did tell you. I said I'm doing the 10-minute short rest
You
cat
told...
nap
Okay.
from the thimble.
Yeah, okay. But you didn't then do any... Okay, it was the end of the session. We didn't talk about it afterwards.
We didn't. So, yeah.
But also the other thing is that, you guys, you are talking to your friend who has not been sleeping, actually sleeping, for weeks.
And has categorically stated in a dangerous situation she will not go to sleep.
And she went to have a nap.
And then she, like, the first priority was, let's get back to camp, and I'm going to sleep. So, yeah. Just to throw that in as well.
Because I also don't wanna be the type of GM who handholds you guys as players through like noticing those things.
And I think because it was the end of the session, it was a bit of derpy from me, mostly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would still strike you as, but she never goes to sleep in a dungeon or in a dangerous place. Like, why suddenly the need? Mm-hmm. Retcon anything. Yeah. I think he would still highlight the concern because, like, this is uncharacteristic of her, like, that something is wrong and she's maybe not sharing everything in her usual way.
But anyway, as you were going through the chest to divvy up things, the next morning, there would have been the locket with Agatha's portrait.
Mm-hmm.
I assume Ilana will take that.
She will point out to the others that is Agatha's locket, or Mormask's locket of Agatha.
Yeah.
And that we promised that if we ever found any news of him, we would return it to her.
Yeah.
You kind of did, but that's the point. He's now at rest, and she is not, because she doesn't believe he's at rest. So in order for them to both to be put to rest, we need to go and tell her. Mm-hmm. With the... I don't think I understood how bad it was, but mostly I'm just disappointed in myself for not being prepared for something like that. Well, it's a fair... I've kind of, in being taught it, I've kind of obviously got my way around it and used it a little bit, but it's the first time I've ever used it kind of offensively, if you want to call it that. because dispelling a bad effect on someone is effectively offensively using a spell to remove something from someone. What I didn't take into account is that there was more than one thing on Kit to be removed, and had I a version of this spell that's commonly available today, I would have been able to target that one thing only and remove it. With the version I've got that's a little bit older and a little bit more powerful, it just flat out dispels magic in an area, which is why we had to move all the magic items and get rid of everything, because no, but now I know. You do. However, we have known for a while Kit is linked to something in the Fae where she's lost something, and that inherently forms some kind of a connection. Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's not so much that there is an effect on her, there's something tethered to her, which is what did the backlash. And that something tethered is like, put it this way, the power I have access to for dispelling magic is old. Whatever this is more powerful than even that. AKA, it's like a contract. Because you can't dispel a contract, you can only fulfill a contract. Is a guess, is my first guess. And trying to dispel a contract would probably lash out at you. So my guess is that Kit's made a contract with somebody to exchange A for B, and whatever the A is, whatever the B is, that's formed a binding contract, and anyone trying to get rid of that gets literally punched in the head. Yeah. We did well for other reasons. I do also need to go there, so kettle steam. Yep. It's been a while, yeah.
She's aware of it now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The only other thing to add is that kind of the tethering to Kit, kind of my hunch of it kind of being a contract is, I'm pretty certain that's right, not completely certain. However, the type of magic tethered to Kit is because of a loophole. You know, with a contract, there are always loopholes, and this particular loophole has been abused from the contract maker's perspective, in theory. AKA, it's a corruption of that contract, in that what what's been taken was stolen rather than freely given. So I think something to do with the Hourglass Coven. I wouldn't be surprised to learn. Yeah, she got tricked into sort of making a deal, but stuff was stolen rather than given as part of the deal. If well, yeah, and other things you may not. Well, potentially, potentially not. Yeah, I think either way, to answer your question, I'm feeling a little bit better after the healing spirit from Lion. Thank you, Lion. And whatever that power is something we will need to confront at some point. Just we need to be prepared. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have a very hurt dwarf with you that cannot travel. Like,
we have an extremely hurt Nundro. It was going to be my next point, and although I think the dwarves would be able to get him back on somebody like Matteo, he would have a far easier time, and that is our priority, getting them home. The cave, for the most part, has been cleared. There's obviously the fungus, but the dwarves have a better idea of how to deal with that than we do. And there's the researcher in town who will want to know about all of this too. And I suspect Phandelver will want to secure this because having access to the Forge of Spells is significant. This is the kind of stuff where other city powers start paying attention. They, if only to get their own hands on it before we do. So we need to be very careful about who we share this information with. And I suggest the answer is nobody. Not even the dwarves. For now. Nundro obviously knows it's here, however. So he may end up sharing that information. But that's something else. Yeah.
you might want to attach it to your hood, actually.
Well, your microphone's not very good then, is it? If it has to be like up my nose.
Yeah, but you are very freaking quiet.
But I'm not that quiet. I'm not that quiet. Yeah, because it's basically in my nose. The Lord's Alliance, the other city powers knowing about the Forge of Spells will be a reason they try to take it from Phandalin, and this is something that used to belong to Phandalin. So, additionally, I know everything I need to know to restore it to its former power. That's something that Mormask kind of gifted me when he touched my forehead. And right now it's capable of minor enchantments to weapons and armor.
This... Up to uncommon, not minor.
Up to uncommon. That's still technically minor. But, for example, on this site, the gauntlets that we were going to create for you, Andy, of ogre strength, we could bring the materials here and start forging, start enchanting right now. It's capable of crafting those. That said, we do have a magical laboratory back under the manor that is also capable of doing that level. The difference is that repairing this over time, we will be able to craft items of legendary power here. That's why this Forge of Spells was so kind of wanted, if you like. And the lab in town will never be able to make legendary powerful items. So this is an asset we need to protect and control. Exactly, yeah. So we need to think about this from a perspective of planning for the future, how we can fortify it and make it defensible, but also interlink it with town, potentially. Teleportation circles. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it'll bolster it. Yeah, it'll bolster things. Yeah. Yeah. And likewise, I think kind of it's more a case of kind of protecting it to ensure this resource isn't abused. But as of right now, it's not repaired. So I think anyone else coming to it would realize that quite quickly yes, it's a place of power, but it's not capable of creating powerful enchantments yet. However, over time, as we repair it, I think people may then start to realize, oh, wow, someone here actually has the knowledge to repair it. That then becomes a wholly different thing. And that's the kind of thing. So we've got some time. Correct. Yeah. 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 And I think the first thing I should do is come up with some kind of cipher that only we know, and then write down the details just in case the inevitable does happen. Mm-hmm. Probably, but I don't know. I can just choose not to remember it slowly over time, and I will forget it like most people do. So kind of the things I choose to remember are things I have to actively work on remembering by repeating them and that kind of thing. So even if I don't repeat what I know over the next 30 days, I will forget some of it. So yeah, it's one of those things that just in case, I don't know, I get knocked on the head, the last thing we want to do is lose that knowledge as well. But we also want to make sure that it's protected, so it's not just freely available to anyone. I think I've got an emerald pen that allows me to do illusionary script. That's a first prevention. We can cipher this script in illusory so that only the people who are aware of it can read it, and everyone else will just read it like a blank piece of paper, or a piece of paper with some gibberish on it that doesn't make much sense. And then we can look to destroying that as we get better improvements in magically concealing or encrypting or whatever the case might be. I think that's kind of our best bet at the moment. Just keep things to ourselves for now, and begin seeing how we can fortify this position, maybe with the help of Nundra and the dwarves, because they will be very aware of its past and what happened too. They will be just as keen to protect what is here. Because, yeah, judging by the looks of the motifs and stuff, this used to be a place that dwarves and goblins and gnomes and halflings all kind of used and built. I'm not sure about telling the gnomes from Gnomengard. Perhaps not yet, but they are good at making defenses and traps, so potentially commissioning stuff from them without them knowing where it's going. Yes. Yeah, and a slightly larger version in case we need to deal with this dragon, which is, I think, between kind of the Witchlight Carnival, which we do still need to address and deal with, because we said we would. When's the next new moon?
On the 15th. It's so every month on the 15th.
On the 15th.
The Harpenov calendar is very reliable like that.
Oh, good. Thankfully. Yeah, okay. Maybe we should begin preparations for the Witchlight. It is, yeah. Yeah. What it's the prismere, isn't it? It's through the mirror. Yeah. Yeah. Something I'm not keen to repeat right now. Bring us back. Mm-hmm. Possibly. Sister Gariel's not going. Darren's not going. Radolf's not going. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Do you know, Lion, if it's specifically a Fey realm? I believe it is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. There was the prophecy thing, effectively. Mm-hmm. Well, From our experiences so far, nothing in there was wishy-washy. No, not even the minecart ride. So
Yeah, you literally have still a unicorn and a solar knight standing there.
Ilana just points. Definitely not wishy-washy. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're going to get, and addressing the dwarves as well, we're going to get them safely back to Phandelver with Nundro. Then we can take it's because I believe it was like a half a day's travel to get here. Am I right in remembering that as a player?
Yeah, except you
So
have an ongoing storm outside. It's pretty bad.
an ongoing storm
Yeah, today's
outside.
weather is a really bad rainstorm.
Great.
So it's going to take you a day to get, like half a day to get off the mountain.
Yeah. In which case, we get back to Phandalin, we rest and recover overnight. Then we go to Agatha, just us. And maybe it's time to start investing in horses.
Alagos smiles at you.
For the rest of us. Because that journey would be a hell of a lot quicker if all of us were on horseback. Or donkey back.
Neverwinter has very good horses.
Who does?
Neverwinter.
Neverwinter does, yeah.
Alagos was saying, I can help you. I know good stables.
Excellent. I suspect not all of us need to go to Agatha, was going to be my suggestion. It's a journey along a road. Yes, there are dangers, yes, but we're far more capable now than we were to begin with. Two or three of us could go to Agatha, while two of us go to Neverwinter to arrange horses and all that kind of stuff. Sure. I think probably Lion, myself, and Andy for Agatha. Kit has contacts in the city, as does Alagos. And I wouldn't recommend it, no. I suspect that would be terrible, yes. So I think that's probably the best split, and then that way it's basically a 2-day journey to Neverwinter and back, and it's basically a 2-day journey to Agatha and back. So we're all going to be reconvening at roughly the same time. And I've got the ability to communicate with Kit at any point. And Alagos. So if need be. No. No. No distance. No distance and no number of times either. I can do it all day long if I really want to. It just takes a minute for each message to go and disappear. It's basically like you've got a minute to send the message and get a reply, basically, and then you can send the next message. And obviously you have to be reading the paper because it doesn't speak the message back to us. It's written on the page, so you have to read it. But yeah, that's why when I figured I had access to it, it was a good thing to do, just in case. And as I get more powerful, more people can be added to the list, effectively. But for now, it's just 3. So Dwarves happy to get started. It's a shit storm outside, but
Yeah, they.
start packing up. I think everyone will be glad to get out of a cave for a while because we've been here for 2 days. I, for one, was hoping for sunshine, but I will happily take rain instead of dark caves. Um, I'll be happy to stay outside for a while, personally.
I would say you leave around 8 a.m. with all the packing and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And Alana's going to use three charges from her staff to give mage armor to Nundro and to her and to Alagos, just in case we are ambushed on the road. How's your ring doing, Kit? It's still got a charge of shield in it, doesn't it?
Yeah. It has 4 points that need to be filled.
I think, remind me, if we get home tonight and nothing untoward's happened, I can put another charge of shield in there as well as haste, if you want that. Or any combination of spells you might want. I can talk you through the kinds of stuff I can do. Defensive and offensive. Could be. Mm. There's, yeah, pretty much. You could, in theory, have Leomund's tiny hut in there too, which so you could do the silvery barbs and tiny hut, and basically you could pop that in the middle of combat, and then everyone runs inside and we're all protected from harm. Nope, it's activating an item. The spell is cast because you're casting it into the ring. The 10 minutes is spent when you cast it. Mm-hmm. Lots of options either way. Mm-hmm. Yep. And there are a world of different spells to try out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can change it out. Do you wear armor, Kit? No. Not really. Because I've got one that improves your armor as well. And lasts for 8 hours, so it's quite significant. That plus shield is the reason most people don't hit me. Yeah. But yeah. Other than that, pack up. Get prepared. Cloaks on, hoods up. And poor Medea has been standing in the rain all day. Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Um,
I'll move it over.
well, given that am I right in thinking they're useful for making wands?
Once, yeah.
I can take them if you want.
Who is carrying it?
I'll carry them. Just check them on my sheet.
It's 20 pounds. Have fun with that. Yeah, it is. There's your eye stalks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ilana's just standing with. Ilana's still just standing there with her bag of holding open.
Do you want just, yeah, okay, I'm just
put
giving
it in
it to
the bag.
Alana.
Just put it in the bag of holding. It doesn't weigh anything if it goes in here.
There you go. You might not want to treat it
Rupture
roughly.
it. Yeah.
It's a rare component.
Super rare, yeah.
There you go.
Yep. In the bag of holding. Yeah.
So let me just rename the iron key. Forge of Spells Master Key. There you go. This key opens every single door and can lock every single door in the Wave Echo Cavern.
Seems good. God, you gave me like 11 pounds of coins.
Did everyone update their coins with the stuff that Lena?
Yeah. I'm moving my oh, I didn't do Alagos. Good shout. I'll do Alagos in a minute.
Yeah, this is what I was checking right now.
I'm pouring all the copper coins into my bag of holding currently. 395.
So while Chris is doing this, I need a survival check from Lion to get the party safely down the mountain. Yes. Yeah, so I'm not gonna do anything massive here to penalize you. It's just gonna take you all day to get back to Phandelver, basically.
Yeah. Suspected as much. Yeah. Yeah. Guiding mounts, guiding giant owlbears. It all just takes time, unfortunately. There we go, that's a bit more reasonable. And then Alagos.
So like it basically forces you to take a longer rest than usual, like in between the 8 hours basically. So you arrive around 7 p.m.
Cool. I picked up a bunch of rations inside the cave I can deduct for the dwarves inventory. Once I've added gold to Alagos.
So yeah, you make it to Phandelver by 7 p.m.
62. So 68. Yeah. Okay. Right, I've done Alagos, and now why did it close Ilana's sheet? Oh, it just reloaded completely. Okay. Rations, right? So I needed to deduct 3 rations, yes? For the 2 dwarves and
Yeah.
Ninja. That's fine. Done that. Rations, presumably.
Meat.
Poor thing's been starving for weeks.
You have, I believe, in the player's handbook, it says how many pounds per size of creature you need of food.
Yeah.
That's how many pounds of meat it needs.
This is where Matt realizes he's just spent 2,000 platinum on meat for the owlbear.
It has taken care of itself because it was outside, so.
Yeah, and it wasn't tethered.
It didn't eat Matteo.
It what?
It didn't eat Matteo.
Good. Well, that was one of the buildings that wasn't on the list, like a hunters/butchers. Hunter/butcher wasn't on the list for buildings.
Okay.
So that's something you probably want to add.
Okay.
Shakes his head. You're not sure if that's because he's not sure or if he's just shaking off the rain.
I'm looking it up, smartass.
I know, and I'm narrating and to give you a chance to wait for an answer.
Bleh. I mean,
Spiders.
to
No,
be
no, no, no,
fair, you
no.
have enough livestock to feed the entire town, so.
We.
So it will translate because, of course, it doesn't have a concept of miles.
Mm-hmm.
But a single owlbear usually roams in a 1 to 5 miles radius.
They're quite compact, actually.
Yes, an owlbear family, again, owlbear with cubs, is 3 to 10 miles.
More to feed.
Yeah, because a female owlbear with cubs will be even more aggressive in patrolling and protecting its territory.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if it's male or female?
I think we settled on male.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah.
No chance of carrying extras.
No. And they like to shred bark with their claws to signal their presence and mark territory.
Mm-hmm.
They also roar and howl and do scent markings.
They also like caves to sleep in, don't they?
Yes, they do.
AKA the bottom of the manor.
So it used to be like it doesn't know because it was like it used to be the territory around the fortress, but it doesn't want to be there anymore because of all the shit it
The
experienced.
Grick and the goblins, particularly.
Yeah. So it basically imprinted on Kitten now. It's like that's family now.
Yes. I think we'd know if there was an. I think we'd know if there was an owlbear within range of town, wouldn't we? We'd probably have come across it by now. Because it's a very compact area around town.
They're very territorial as well.
I imagine they would.
You would know that there's one, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
local people would be talking about it.
Point out that it actually usually avoids nearness
civilizations. Yeah. They're usually more rural, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, in theory, I mean, there are hunters in town, and someone must be producing meat.
Yes, you guys literally have cattle. Don't guess it. You know it as a character. Yeah. You guys literally bought a whole bunch of shit. That's like.
I'm not talking about cattle. I'm talking about hunting wildlife.
Yes. Not really. They were farmers and miners. So. But now with the recent coming in influx, there will probably be hunters that will join.
And as we head into winter, the farmers won't be doing quite so much farming.
No, but they have supplies that is like keep, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, yeah, maintenance and all the rest of it. Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that cavern entrance that you have from underneath below into that's actually ideal.
Perfect for it. Yeah. Get it settled in the under caves. And introduce it to both the wizard and the goblins so they don't get the fright of their lives.
But it's gonna be like in the little crack down below, so
in the crevice. Yeah. You have to make it a little ramp so it can get up and down easily. You can do that with Moldav easily. Anyway, travel home. By the sounds of it, getting back like when it's dark.
Yeah, you are. I already said that. It takes time because Nundro is basically on 0 walking speed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he's gonna basically rest on donkey, but that also means that then Andy is walking, which is then yeah,
They are.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. But yeah, your walking speed is like reduced anyway, but you're traveling slowly because down the mountain in the storm, it's
Mm-hmm.
there's now multiple streams crossing the pathways and stuff. So like it's precarious.
Yeah.
And it took like most of the like it took like most of your effort getting down the mountain, basically being back to the main path, and it exhausted you so much that you had to take like thrice the amount of like short rest that you usually take,
Mm-hmm.
just to like give
Recover.
everyone enough rest and enough time to like dry, eat, rest.
Can you post the weather in the channel?
I did.
I don't see it.
It was posted when I initially.
Then it's disappeared.
Yeah, there. Yeah, before the experience. It's very muggy, heavy rain today.
Not in the game.
It's in the game in the chat.
How much am I scrolling up?
There.
Okay. Oh wow, it's stupidly hot.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Because everywhere else we've lived's been destroyed, mostly. Yeah, better than living in mud outside
But
city.
by the time you get to Phandelver, the temperature has cooled down to 30 and it's scattered clouds, but mostly clear.
Okay.
It's just that you were closer to Icefire Peak
Yeah.
where you were.
No, yeah, of course, yeah. That's fine. So it's a localized storm as well.
Yeah. But also it's odd that the temperature as you went up was going up, not down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure
Makes
that's
perfect sense for Kit, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't argue that.
Yeah, the dwarves are in the Stonehill Inn.
They're in the Stonehill Inn, yeah.
And there will be a very joyful reunion when you arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they knew that you were going to the Wave Echo. There is no secret. Like, the entire town knows where you were going, by the way.
Yeah,
So,
no. They don't know if there's a Forge of Spells left anymore, though.
Nundra knows. And the dwarves know.
And we've impressed upon them the importance of keeping such knowledge quiet because we don't want to repeat.
Who is doing the persuasion check?
Me.
Do it.
Do you want a repeat of the past? Very simply.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Learn gas.
A blood contract. Persuasion.
Yeah, with advantage.
It's an alright day.
Yeah, they understand.
They understand the importance.
I gave you a mental +5 for Nundro because he got the shit beaten out of him, so he doesn't want to repeat it.
He fully understands the importance of not repeating the past. Absolutely. Other than that, keep an eye out for. I want to say any. Can you occasionally, Lion, like on the way home? Am I right in thinking you can detect the presence of strange creatures? Can you do that when you get back to the basically town? Hmm. Jesus, cat. What's the matter with you? Yep. So like
Okay.
in the forest just outside of town, so he gets the 6 miles.
Okay, cool. Let me.
Ahem. Let me draw 6 miles on the map so I can see where I'm gauging. Paying particular attention to fiends and undead would be my suggestion, not so much fae and dragons. What? What was that about? What was that about a dragon location? Yeah. What, you mean there's more of them? Hmm. Seems fair. Yeah, potentially.
Just checking. What type of creatures does it ping, Abel? You have 3 aberrations pinging within 6 miles.
You have aberrations pinging.
Yeah. Well, no, they poofed out. Yeah, at 9 a.m. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot. Thank you for reminding me.
Just before she
2
goes.
things.
Mm-hmm.
In the morning, when you were talking about the locket, just when you were leaving the cave, Mormesk actually appeared. Jesus Christ, I was so like
Caught up in the nonsense.
Yeah, in mechanics.
Who?
And he will approach Ilana because she has the locket, and he will in that language that only you understand. Because I keep forgetting what the language is actually called.
Laros.
Laros, yeah. He will tell you in Laros, saying, I do not seem to be able to leave this space or wander far from what is close to my heart. It falls on you to bring it to my beloved.
Will you then be at peace?
Yes.
Then I shall take it to her.
So you will feel, wherever you carry the locket, a warmth of gratefulness.
Okay, that totally contradicts the icy chill I got when he flew through me.
Yeah.
Which she's still struggling to shake off right now, but because that's in my notes. Yeah, okay.
He will give you a polite bow and go invisible. Or
dissipate.
Yeah, dissipate. Okay. And the rest will be like, did the dude just talk to Ilana and Ilana talk back to him in the same language, whatever. And the second thing is, right before the Solar Knight and Unicorn go away, the Solar Knight will kind of like walk in front of you to stop you from like moving.
In front of me, sorry.
All of you.
Okay.
All of you. And he will, they will say, I keep doing this, they will say, I have observed, I have watched, and I have judged. And then they will detach a little bell, like a ball bell, you know, the jangle dingle thing that like cats like.
Yes, jingle bell.
Yeah, a jingle bell, and hand it to Kit.
Kit has been judged worthy.
It's made of pure gold, by the way. And you have never seen shinier gold in your life. And they will say, when you are in need, you can call upon me once again. Use it wisely. So basically, it's
Before
the same
she
thing.
disappears, Ilana would say, "Thank you for your service. We would not be here without you."
Yeah. The unicorn will also give a bow, and the Solonite will give a bow. But basically, I will make you a magic item. It's similar to the paper knight. It's but you jingle
bell.
You jingle the bell.
And you got to sing jingle bells.
And if you actually hold it, it doesn't do the jingle. Like it basically, he says like when you have the intent on calling, it will ring. So until then, it's completely silent.
Cute comedic thing in the future where Kit's desperately trying to ring the bell but doesn't actually intend for it to happen. Yep. And it gets dressed up, gets her hair done, tries to ring the bell, fails.
But there you go. But Matt, yeah, I will make your magic item that's basically like the paper knight. Did you delete the paper knight off your sheet? Where is it? Okay, cool. I will edit that and make it a bell. But yeah, so yeah, you got 3 aberrations in a 6-mile radius.
Does it tell you how far away?
No, it doesn't. Not even direction. Have fun with that! Okay, you have aberration.
And when?
No.
So when we left the Red Wizard, that was a fiendish present, wasn't it? Not aberration. Yeah, okay. Aberration. What kind of stuff is aberration? Would Alagos have any idea on aberrations? I'm thinking like Beholder would technically...
The Spectator was an aberration, yes.
The Spectator was an aberration. Oh, don't tell me that damn Nothic is back. Nothics. We had one under the manor. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. We need to let Silda know that there are aberrations in the area and that he needs to be prepared for that. For town defense. So like morning and night, basically. Yeah. That's okay, I can remind. Yeah. I think, like you say, it takes some effort to do it, so we don't want to completely abuse it. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm more concerned with the surrounding areas around Phandelver, honestly. I'm less bothered if they follow us. Because as you can imagine, meal prayers, yeah. No, I think I'm slightly more concerned about a spectator going loose in Phandelver because it would kill dozens of people before they manage to bring it down. Yeah, I mean, um, but okay, so and presumably Fey pings as well.
Yeah, for Kit, still.
Forget. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't ping anymore.
He is a dragon, but
Dragon doesn't
Ilana will highlight that she has used magic to cloak him permanently. He now reveals as humanoid to any detection spells. So that, and it's purely defensive so that no one can trace her by detecting for dragons. And I can do the same for Kit, presumably, provided it doesn't whiplash me again. Leave it as is. Yeah, potentially. But there's no reason it should do anything. It's not trying to change anything else on you. It's just, well, they were actually saying that, trying to change your type to Fey may end up I think short of dealing with Neverwinter tomorrow and Agatha, where we split, after that, when we reconvene, do we want to consider taking some serious time to begin preparations?
Well, how about... I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you all now.
Take a break.
Let's take a break.
Okay. Balloon.
what I wanted to say.
Are you 36 inches? I don't know.
My screen is 36 inches, right?
Right.
Yours is 34.
I believe yours is a 36-inch widescreen.
Widescreen, yeah. So I'm now so used to it that when I'm like in specific situations, not all the time, but like when I'm using Foundry, I have concluded that 36 inches ultra widescreen is still not big enough.
Yeah, but to be fair, you got Discord on the side as well.
Yeah, but I also have like 5e. I would like that would be.
Yeah, you see, I keep my main screen for Foundry only, and then the off screen is for everything else that I tab to. I have my off screen
for the stream screen because that window needs to be always open and active.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't update on the stream.
No streaming when I'm doing my campaign.
No, you can give me a user that can only see the can't see other like
no streaming in my campaign. Apparently, Maya found a random troll.
That's your troll.
I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
Present.
Well, it's gonna live next to the mushroom then.
Seems apt.
Yeah.
It's not troll.
It's a
nom.
It's one of those British Christmas gnomes.
So it's a troll. A front door troll.
No.
What's a front door troll? Stream it.
Yeah, so
picture's probably sufficient.
Here, let me take a picture of the one I have. Corner plus. No, I'm not Valentine's gifting Nitro. Fuck off.
No. Temper.
You have that in front. No, I thought that Matt posted this. Never mind.
Do you? Supposedly like a British Christmas troll.
What the fuck, Matt?
That is cool.
Why?
Because
is this a Scottish thing?
When the religious nut jobs knock on the door, they pick that up and hold it and talk to it while they're at the door. Gargoyle and dog. Yeah, it is a bit. Yeah. To be fair though, Ilana's now going to create golems that look like that.
Amazing.
Yeah, your sound is picking up everything going on in the background.
Oh yeah, so I don't know. Like I haven't seen these Christmas gnomes until I got to the UK. I don't think they're a thing in Austria. I don't remember that. I don't know, Lena. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Maybe this is why England and the Netherlands get on so well, because we've just got so much shared stuff that none of the rest of Europe knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, we have St. Nick in campus, in Austria.
Yeah. I mean, we have St. Nicholas here too, but nobody celebrates it.
I mean, I find them adorable. Don't get me wrong. I love these gnomes. Like,
yeah, I prefer the gargoyle troll. Definitely is. Need to get something like that.
If you take the painting equivalent, you know those paintings of medieval books that have like those weird animals in the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
also have those weird.
They have like the cat, griffin, eagle things drawn.
Yeah, but
in
like if you remember medieval paintings of dogs, they look weird as shit.
Yeah.
So that reminds. Yeah. Babies are worse, but this one reminds me of that.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. That's from a TV show called Gargoyles,
Zeus.
isn't it? Oh, is it from Zeus?
Yeah.
Safe to say we all know what a
I'm
Buddha
turning
statue
into a
looks
bigger fan of your mom.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fair.
Anyway, you arrive at 7 p.m.
Yeah, we escorted the dwarves back. There was a reunion. They're happy. There was heartfelt tears, and then we were departing, and we were about to talk about our plan for the next 2 days and what we're going to do after
Okay,
that.
so I'm going to forward to 8 p.m.
After that, yeah.
For the initial unpacking, stabling Mateo.
Yep.
Letting Willem know that you're back.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
For a night before we depart again. I think, just kind of, is everyone happy with the idea of splitting up for the next 2 days to go our separate ways and cover more things with less time rather than... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and we need to be prepared for that. As prepared as we can be. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, are we saying then that you and Alagos should go to Neverwinter so that you can try and make contact with Eliwick? Not specifically about plain stuff, though. Kit's contacts are more about, well, selling things. Well, it does. We don't... And she's not given you any way to contact her. Leaving a message. Okay. The one by the docks. Okay. But no, not. I assume it's the animal messenger that you can send. Yeah. Yeah, and not somewhere else. Yeah. Okay, but then Andy, you were saying that you wanted to do some research anyway, so are you saying after Agatha you want to head to Neverwinter for time to do some research? Mm-hmm. Okay. I think because it was highly magical, I think the answer is going to be anything involving magic to treat it. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's the danger of kind of mental based attacks. There is nothing physical to treat, so to speak. But yeah, okay. If that sounds like a plan for everyone, so we'll split up, do the 2-day travel. Andy, you're then going to head to Neverwinter to do some research. Alagos presumably will return to Phandelver with the horses with Kit, unless Kit wants to stay in Neverwinter to do anything with their contacts.
Algos will actually pull you aside for a second and be like, excuse me, everyone, I need to talk to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And basically take you to a more quieter corner of, where are you guys? Stonehill Inn?
Yeah, probably,
Sleeping
no,
Giant?
probably in the Sleeping Giant by
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. And he will tell you that he feels very uncomfortable letting you travel on your own. Not because he doesn't think you're incapable,
Mhm.
but due to recent events, he'd feel very anxious.
And I'm going to, if you like, I can swap one of their names out with your name in my book so that we can talk the whole time, so that we're in touch. I understand. By no means am I dismissing that, but like you say, you know the contacts in Neverwinter, and I'm the one who needs to be returning the locket to Agatha. And this is purely a time-saving exercise. As far as danger is concerned, I have invisibilities prepared, so that, and gaseous form, as you well know.
He will make you promise that if something happens, anything, no matter how benign it looks at first,
we are disengaging and leaving. Yes, absolutely. And the same applies to him. He needs to keep defensive spells, gaseous form, and invisibility, which if he doesn't have, I'm not sure if he does actually have invisibility, she will require him to copy that spell tonight.
Yeah.
And the same applies. You disengage, particularly if it's anything to do with aberrations or dragons, because both are in the region right now. And we simply don't know who is linked to who.
I also finally pulled him over into characters. Like, he's like part of the party now. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
he will
definitely
kind of lean his forehead against yours,
so,
and then return with you to the table.
She'll erase Andy's name from the book, so that if for any reason she can't contact Alagos, she can contact Kit, and Kit is with Alagos. And she'll keep Lion, and she'll keep Lion. I was tempted to swap it out for someone in town, so that we've got a contact in town, like Darren, that we can talk to immediately should we need to.
So the second,
I'm thinking
the normal invisibility you will let him copy.
Yeah, both if he wants both.
He can't. Because Loros.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just like flat out vetoing anything like fuck that.
I figured you might.
You getting that, sure. The rest of the party getting that, nah.
Me getting that's bad enough.
Yeah.
He can copy.
I once again made the mistake of giving Chris access to something that I probably shouldn't have given him.
Shouldn't have given. Yeah. But that's fine. Don't worry about it. There's a spell later. There's a spell later on that I'm looking forward to. That's all.
Yeah, like.
So yeah, she will let him copy invisibility from her. But
I hope you remember how generous I was in this campaign when you ran yours.
I do. My campaign's going to be full of excitement and puzzles, some of which start at level 1 and finish at level 25.
That's not my point, Chris. That was not my point. Anyway.
Did you import invisibility onto his book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Super.
God, I love the drag and drop thing from sheet to sheet.
Is that
It's convenient.
Is that it's under? It says sorcerer specifically.
What?
Underneath the invisibility spell on his sheet is a sorcerer.
Invisible.
Yeah, see, it says invisibility source. None of the others say that, so I don't know if that's.
I don't know. That must be new.
Well, mine's not sorcerer spell, so.
Yeah, it's for him. Because he's main caster sorcerer.
Yeah, but he's copying it to a spellbook, so it's definitely wizard related.
Yeah, well, let me.
Technical details.
Edit.
Source class says sorcerer. Is it just because he is a sorcerer?
Here, I removed it.
Okay. All good. So yeah, obviously we are both to take extreme care.
Okay.
And no engaging and warning each other. Well, they have no way to warn us. Did we get the sending stone from the dwarves?
Yes.
So we have both sending stones.
Yeah.
Because the reward was for clearing the cave out to get the sending stones, wasn't it?
Well, no, you still haven't completed that.
That's what I was thinking. That's a different cave, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the original one.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one I mentally got confused.
No, they lent you one of the sending stones while they were waiting for you. So
yeah,
you hand Alagos will hand it back. Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, no, they're not going to sell it.
Alagos is not an asshole.
Sending stone.
Matt?
I'm going to delete it from Alagos's sheet.
Yes.
Are you sure this will be deleted? Yes, permanently. Fine. All gone. We do, because we did promise we would help them clear it out. But I feel like we need to do a little bit of preparation before we commit to anything else. So we've got 15 days, 15, 18, 20 days until the next new moon, give or take. So if we're spending 2 days traveling and 10 days researching whilst others are busy, that leaves us with roughly 8 days to prepare and resolve anything else. Anywhere. So we will want to travel for 2 days beforehand to be near the forest, or at least in it. No. Yeah. Yeah, it's multiple days traveling here. But we've got 8 days to play with. And we know that getting to that cave and clearing it out is probably a day or 2 at most. Which still gives us 6 days to then finish preparations and travel to get prepared for the Prismere. Which I think is enough. Is everybody happy with that plan so far? Yeah. Okay. Remind me what we got.
You have 1 spider staff.
Spider staff, I think, is predominantly best
For
used
Alagos.
for Alagos or Kit, but I don't think Kit's primed really to use a staff. I think you prefer your claws, don't you, Kit?
Yes.
No,
Oh, no.
I traded the spider.
Yeah, the the splash
toy
spider.
because it had to make sure you add that to your sheet. It needs. I think Shinny added it.
Yeah, it's on there. Yeah.
Because it had to be a Fey charm for a Fey charm, not another item for a Fey charm.
Yeah, exactly. No, I removed that.
Really?
It's a special edition of that spider staff.
Okay. So if
But
I'm
you need to be a caster, yes.
From a moral perspective, would he even be interested in the spider stuff? Because it
doesn't look visibly evil. Spiders are not necessarily evil.
No, but it does do poison damage when it hits someone.
Yeah, that is useful.
That's partially my concern. If there's a connection.
is like, of course, I will not use it.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, that's fine. What are we doing with the beholder?
I'm sorry, but like I want to point out that the mace and the armor obviously are for Andy. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, none of us is wearing plate mail. Yeah. You'll need to drag the Dragon Guard plate from me. You'll have to be able to carry it because it's heavy.
Yeah, she has to take off her chainmail.
Yeah.
Elana.
It's in the bag of holding.
In the bag of holding.
Yeah. Second one on the list. And what are we doing with the spectator stuff? Are we giving it to our workshop wizard kit for them to manufacture?
I want to point out that neither the Lightbringer nor the Dragon Heart required attunement.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck! The fuck!
Weapons and magical armor generally don't, but magical clothing generally does.
They have extra effects.
Oh no, I know. Full well, yeah. They're super useful.
Just check. I think Lightbringer has like a permanent light effect, or does it need to be activated? Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I'm leaving the light radius update on your token to you.
Yeah. So did you take Dragon Guard? Because that's still in my bag.
Oh yeah, you have to delete it.
Okay, that's fine. I can delete it.
Because when I drag and drop it, it actually copies it.
Yeah, I was just making sure that you'd already done it. I didn't want to delete it before you'd copied it.
Okay.
All good. And Alana's going to ask if he can get she knows the college, the tower, cloak tower has it. It's a spell called Magic Circle. Third level.
Third level?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have it.
I'm just going to ask him if he can bring back a copy of that so that she can study and learn that. Because in future, before dispelling Kit and doing similar stuff like that, she should be doing it inside circles to protect herself.
He will also purchase, because he has enough money.
He has a lot of money.
A scroll of teleportation circle.
You have to cast it every day for a year.
No, he wants to have it.
So that he's prepared.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably take a while for that to... Because it's 5th level.
Yeah, but long-term project.
Yeah.
Adding it to the house library. He will give you a link.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that'll form the basis of a teleportation network. Wouldn't worry about that, because while you're in Neverwinter researching, I'm going to prioritize crafting your gauntlets. They shouldn't. Oh, is it? Okay. 19. Yeah. Well, I need to stop casting preservation spells on all these body components, and I need to start using them to craft the items they were intended to create, so hence why I'm happy for you guys to spend 10 days in Neverwinter researching whilst I create items. Well, if you want to get the potions, then I can prioritize the moon sickle for Lion. They are, yeah. Yeah. That makes the most sense, but I might be able to get through both of them, in a nutshell. We'll see. Another one, you're going to just add to your collection. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm happy to. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so are we picking it up with what you guys doing during the next few days, or are we time skipping it?
We can talk it out during the week,
Okay.
but we're going to time skip effectively 12 days.
Okay, so just to sum up, who's going to Agatha?
Lion.
Okay.
Kitten, Alagos to Neverwinter to sort out the horses and the contacts and the buying the spells and stuff.
Okay, tell you what, I'm gonna narrate through what happened, put it into the Discord so everyone is up to date. You can send in questions and stuff, and we'll pick up after those 2 days.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
Then
we can deal with
I'll call it short and skip over the favorite things because this was a short and sweet one anyway. So Lena can go lie down and rest. Okay.
If only because of a chance of a second date. Yes. 36 inches, definitely. And you. Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
Gone. Meow.
Meow.
Kitty cat. Meow. Doesn't she need to shower as well?
No, she did yesterday.
Oh, she showered yesterday. Okay. Sorry, I was talking about mine. Never mind.
Do we need to anything else to wrap up? Like,
I don't think so. We're going to do the trip to Agatha. and Neverwinter, and then presumably pick up from there. I'm kind of keen not to spend too much time focusing on downtime stuff and just being like, this is what happens, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. This is the money you spend, bullet point. This is what happens, done.
Fair.
You can go fishing with Alagos. I'm sure you'd probably appreciate it.
But like, I want to point out, if you guys want to research more about the Feywild before you head there, that's a downtime activity of a full week, aka 10 days.
I know, and that's why I said 12 originally. 2 for Neverwinter and Agatha, and then 10 for her to do her downtime.
Yeah.
And
but it's like...
Alana yeah, 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she'll have a horse, and everyone traveling will have a horse. So
yeah, but also want to point out that you guys don't have to research at the same time. You can research different things or do other...
Well, Ilana's going to do magical enchantment.
Yeah.
And finally start creating enchanted items that she said she would weeks and weeks ago. You can help me with enchanting the moonsicle. Yeah, you're a druid, of course you can. You can help me enchant something.
Because that halves the time, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't kind of... You basically get to add your arcana rolls daily to... Essentially, the way I think it used to work, or the way we used to do it, was like the item is 500 gold pieces to enchant, and you roll an arcana check, and if you get like 24, then you do 24 gold pieces worth of enchantment that day. But if you've got a second person helping you, you get to add their roll to yours as well. So even if you roll and you've got like a -1, you're still contributing 0 to 19's worth of gold pieces of enchantment per day. Plus 0. Yeah, there you go. Then fine. So you contribute 1 to 20. So there are days where even though I've got like a +8 to Arcana, I might roll a 1, and you might roll a 20, and suddenly it's 29's worth of enchantment, not just 9. Yeah. So yeah, multiple casters does speed it up, but you just have to be a spellcaster. And the only thing we don't have is we don't have any special items for the moonsicle, except for the fact that I've already crafted it, or had it crafted. So I think it's just we need the formula and the moonsicle to finish the enchantment. And the odds are we can probably do the gauntlets and the moonsicle in 10 days. But it depends. Because we do also have another enchanter working for us who will be helping too. So it'll actually be 3 people enchanting the same thing. And effectively, like, one of you normally would be working like 8 hours a day, but you can take it in shifts, can't you? And being enchanting the same item over the full course of a day. You should decide what you want to put in your ring, Matt. Spells wise. Yeah. Buy some enchantment boost items. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. But are you only starting that investment when we get back, aka what date was it? Well, the building side of things is just the townsfolk are building it whilst it goes on. Keep in mind that like we're not short of manual labor because there's 500 something people standing around otherwise doing somewhat very little. There's only a handful of major professions in town. Most people are kind of just assisting on the farms when they're not building something, looking after the cattle, that kind of stuff. But when there's a building project to be done, kind of 30, 40 people can move off to start doing the building of houses and shops and whatever. I think the point I was making was like, is this something that you've already agreed you've paid for, aka started, or is this something you haven't yet in character started but wanted to? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. The way I've been doing that for anything to do with the building is because you're kind of midweek at the moment. If you look at the Rebuilding Phandelver channel in Discord, I've just done week 9, which basically ends on the 30th. So that's all of the stuff that was committed to start at the very beginning of the week. Now, anything that starts during the week doesn't count until the start of the next week, right? So week, yeah, basically the way I'm treating it is that effectively like you're doing the conversations, getting the money, handing it over. They're starting the initial conversations of sourcing resources to do the building, like the lumber from the lumber mills and all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. So for the remainder of week 9, they're going to have taken your money already. So by all means, deduct that. And week 10, in the sheet, I just make a note of in week 10, the garden will be started. It's a garden you're building. Is that right? I think that's just... Yeah. Yeah. You can build straight to a fine if you want to build a fine one, or you can build to superior if you want to do superior. It's up to you. Prices, I can tell you. Gardens. Basic garden is 100 gold. It costs 5 gold a week to maintain, generates 10 gold a week income. So it's not a huge amount, it's 5 total profit. But you need a skilled and an unskilled person to maintain it. Obviously, we have the skilled person because she's already in town. And there are hundreds of unskilled people available, so one of them can help out. If you do a fine garden, it's 200 gold. I should also point out a basic garden takes a week for you to basically set up and plant all the herbs and everything, right? A fine garden takes 2 weeks, costs 200 gold, which is double, obviously, the first, but it doubles the cost and the income. So it costs 10 and income's 20. Cost is like seeds, water, fertilizer, time, all that kind of stuff. You need 2 unskilled, got plenty of those, and 1 skilled. We've got 1 skilled. If you go to superior, it's 1,000 gold and takes 4 weeks to set it up, by which time autumn's going to be happening. You're going to be like halfway into autumn at that point, or no, you're going to be right at the end of summer, basically. So my bet would be to build a basic, because then at least you'll start getting some herbs being made and produced, and then you can immediately begin upgrading it to a fine. You will deduct the difference. So it would be like the kind of thematically, the difference is instead of building straight to a superior and getting no benefit for 4 weeks, you build a basic, upgrade it. Because the fine takes 2 weeks to build, but you've already got a basic, you deduct the basic time. So in the same amount of time, you'll then start producing fine. So it's better to build basic, then upgrade to fine. Then the only thing you might get is that you might get a week loss if we're away and you can't hand over the money to say upgrade this to a fine building as soon as you're ready. So you could give it to Sister Gariel, and you could say, here's all the money for you to get to a superior, and obviously once you've finished building a basic, start upgrading it to a fine garden, then start upgrading it to a superior. But yeah, superior is 1,000 gold, but it generates, it's 20 gold cost per week, and it generates 50 gold in income per week. It's under, if you go to the Rebuilding Phandelver channel, there's a Google document link at the top. That's the one that's got all the details about the buildings and stuff. And you've got Phandelver tab is what's actually going on in Phandelver, and the Mechanus is like all of the mechanics behind it. And you'll find the gardens in there. You got 2,000 for an exceptional garden, but keep in mind you don't have to build one. You could build 2 fine gardens if you want to do 2. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, they might be growing different herbs, exactly that. But basically, from a thematic point of view, what happens is basic gives you access to common herbs, fine is uncommon herbs, superior is rare herbs, which is why there's such a jump in money. Exceptional is very rare, and mastercrafted is like super duper, kind of almost one of a kind rare. It's not quite legendary because legendary everything is a quest. But you'll get access to like exceptionally rare poison and herbs, kind of cure herbs, all that kind of stuff. Which is why it's better to eventually have a mastercrafted rather than 20 basic gardens, for example. But yeah, that's fine. I can throw you down for a fine. 300. Yeah. And I'll put it in the list. So that's in week 10. That's going to start. Actually, what I need to do is I need to copy week 9 first. And then do week 10. Because I've made this mistake before. And then you want fine.
I just double checked the challenge rating of the thing that's at the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Challenge rating 23.
Yeah, the answer is hilarious.
Yeah.
23. That means you need 23 level 20 characters to defeat it. Base.
6 level 15 characters. It's still counted as deadly encounter.
Yeah. Basically, we're not fighting the thing at the top of the mountain anytime soon. I think you'd have very little chance of running. Your best option is to hide.
I want to point out at some point, I'm not a big fan of parties micromanaging everything on their own without backup.
This is why
at certain levels.
This is why nobody's quite sure of who's steering this boat, but at some point Alana is the one pushing for a military presence.
Yeah.
And guiding the town towards becoming its own military power, and having an arcanum of wizards capable of withholding magical attacks and stuff. Yeah.
Considering you're
So-
high enough already with the forge, like once you cleaned up and stuff, you can literally every single guardian in town, you can enchant all their gear to
we
plus
can
one.
enchant all the weapons to +1 because we have an enchanter working for us in the background whilst we're going off doing stuff. Yeah, basically that's kind of the plan eventually. So you're going to fund that garden. So I just need to add that you're giving essentially a loan to so there's 200 gold's worth of income so that it doesn't deduct it from the town's income. That's fine. Sorry, it's not 300, it's 200 in total. Because let me double check that. Is it 200 in total? Yeah, it's 200 in total. So it would be 100 for a basic and then 100 to upgrade it again to a fine. So
Yes. Yes.
yeah, there is a lot of horses in that game. To be fair.
I will say add players for next session. Find me horse portrait. Give me horse names. Horses. What money are you gonna spend on it? It's gonna be war horses because Alagos is picking them. Yeah.
It's not that he's expecting them to be ridden into battle at some point so they don't get spooked and throw us off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that I will put that into tokens.
Who knows? That might just be an element of my campaign.
Cool. So now I know exactly what I'm going to prep for next session. Woo woo!
Sounds like it.
But yeah, do you guys think you want to add the downtime after the 2 days, the initial 2 days? Because you do have over like roughly 20 days before the.
Yeah, and this is why I said it, like the idea was 2 days to Neverwinter, 2 days back, 2 days to Agatha, 2 days back.
Yeah.
So it's 4 days in total. And then we've got 20-ish before the new moon. I think it's 22, actually. That gives them 2 days to travel to Neverwinter, do 10 days of research.
Yeah, because I'm vetoing
2
anymore,
days to
like
travel
doing
back.
15 things in parallel to the downtime activity
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
doing. Yeah.
But whilst Andy goes to Neverwinter to do the research, then Alana and Alagos and Lion can remain in the Enchanter's workshop, enchanting the items that we have, because we've got the gauntlets to do, we've got the sickle to do, which is easily going to eat that time up.
Yeah.
And then we've got like 2 or 3 or 4 days left over, roughly.
Yep.
Before the new moon, so that gives us time to prepare provisions and depart and actually leave to get to be in a position best to try and get to the portal on the night.
I do want to point out that the
Yeah.
dwarves kind of expected you will help them with clearing out that
No,
place.
but we had 2 or 3 or 4 days left before going to provisions, and the cave was only a half a day's journey from town.
Okay.
And with horses, even less. So the idea is that with those 3 or 4 days spare, we could go clear the cave, come back, rest, prepare, depart.
Cool. Okay, then I know when I'm prepping for next session.
Okay. Yes, obviously. We're going to need TPK protection. Did you notice we didn't get any today?
Because I didn't plan any encounters.
Yeah. Could have rolled a 20 on that dragon encounter check, though.
I planned happy ending, question mark?
Yeah, exactly. The dragon lands in town. Oh.
To be fair...
Certainly be fat and happy, and you'll have plenty of platinum from us for 5. Keep him happy. Start of his little treasure hoard. Better part of like 8 or 9,000 gold's worth, probably.
No, it doesn't land in Phandelver.
You rolled a d20. Yeah. To be fair, you're too busy scratching its eyes out. It wouldn't know what to do with itself.
No, while you're in Phandelver, it's actually in Leyland again, picking up another cow.
Rip. Yeah, we're going to get a notice soon saying Heroes of Phandelver, please come to Leyland, and then we're going to go to Leyland, and it's going to land in Phandelver.
It's like literally if you go to any of the locations that are on the list, I roll a d20 to see where it is at that time, right?
Yeah. The answer
so because you're going to Neverwinter, I rolled that already.
Yeah.
Because you're in Phandelver, Phandelver is one of the locations where you can land.
Yeah.
By the way. So yeah.
That's fine, we're prepared. The only other thing we need to kind of prepare for is we're halfway through summer and there are still 50 tents housing people. And autumn's when it starts to get cooler.
I might be able to solve some of that issue, but I need to talk to Matt in private.
That's okay. I think as far as town funds go, 1,000 golds houses 40 people, and from a tent perspective, we've got capacity is...
Also, Abo, I haven't increased... I haven't given you any additional points from the Emerald Enclave because you haven't really... Like, the Wave Apple Cave is nothing that, like, directly... It's more like a Harper thing, if anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So... We shall see in the future. But yeah, just so you guys know, the entirety of Phandelver will enter the Lord's Alliance, basically. And I will work out with Chris what benefits that gives on a town level, because I have done organizations and guilds only like on a character level. So I'm going to work out that for Phandelver.
It'll mean that we get a military detachment to help.
We'll see. Don't just spitball. We'll look at the specific.
But that's the whole point of the Lord's Alliance. They detach military to to secure the region, basically. But no, that's it. There'll be no taxes. Thank you very much. There is 110 people in tents that we need to house, which is 27 houses worth of people.
So. I just need to check something.
Lodgings.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you did ask him about, building Druid Grove. And now that you have seen the Wave Echo Cave, they would agree with you that this is, especially if you guys are like like even in its current state, it's a source of concern.
Yeah.
And turning that, like, instead of like destroying the mushrooms, which is like, biodiversity, and it's a biome that is like native to that, instead of like, potential risk that those things get destroyed, turning it into a druid grove to protect it sounds like a really good thing. So if you bring this closer to him and actually start working on that, aka, not just like words, but actions, because he doesn't care about shiny words, start working towards that. I will work out the stages for building a druid grove, because it's not just gonna be the spell, right? I will work out several stages that will happen over a certain amount of time, like we did with the buildings. So I will give you basically, this stuff takes this much time, this many resources. Some of those resources will be contributed by the Emerald Enclave, so that will boost your rank. But the whole dragon thing in the area is probably not great, and they don't find it great.
The disbalance.
No, you don't know if it's the Underdark, you guys. You keep assuming that. You have no... It's an underground lake. You don't know if it leads into the Underdark. Yes. Yeah. Like, you kind of like, because the spider is a drow, but the spider didn't come from there. He went there from the outside.
Yeah, no, we know that.
Yeah.
We're not suggesting he came from there.
Yeah. So again, so nobody knows if that actually leads into the Underdark. You would have to actually traverse the lake to check it out. Yeah. Because I also want to point out that the mine, you went up the mountain and then into the mountain.
No.
The underground lake is technically in the mountain, not below the mountain.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it's obviously a very high altitude water source under the mountain.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not low altitude.
It goes flop,
it goes
dies.
flop. No, what we want to do is miniaturize it and put it in a little bag of water like a goldfish, so we can throw it at our enemies and then pop the bag and it explodes and goes back to its normal size.
And it dies horribly.
Like the Iron Flask with the Beholder, yeah. It would survive long enough to grapple and kill things.
Cool, and then it would miserably die.
No, and then we pocket
Poor
it.
Kraken.
We pocket
Just
it.
because it's a Kraken doesn't mean
We
it's
pocket
evil.
it back into a little bag of water. And then it happily swims around like a goldfish the entire time.
I'm so glad I'm still recording this for, like,
for posterity. Yeah, I'm looking at horse portraits at the moment, so. Yeah, it's gonna say welcome. Say speak friend and enter. Is that it? That sounds familiar.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically it.
Seems fair.
Yes.
I've already got mine. I just need to find a suitable picture. big guy too.
So I'm just gonna lock the session here.
Yes, horse is faster than you, albeit only slightly. But do you need your own horse? Yeah, maybe not. You can probably sit on the back of someone else's. But the donkey's only 40 feet.
And it's getting a horse. Yeah.
So she can have Mateo as a
I
pack
mean,
mule.
Willem will be very happy about having Matteo to drag things around.
As a pack mule.
Yeah. But we don't need any more planning. We're done with planning, right?
We're done with planning.
Okay. So I'll stop recording here.